Hello, so we're going to start today with which line doesn't belong. So I'd like you guys to take a minute or so on your paper, decide which of these lines doesn't belong, and write down a reason why. Alright, now I'd like you guys to share those reasons with your group. Again, there could be a reason for all of them. Maybe you were talking about slopes or the direction or the color, but share those with your groups and compare what you guys got. So on this page, we have our problem, and it says that Diego earns $10 babysitting per hour. He earns $10 per hour babysitting. Oops. And we want to assume that he has no money saved before he starts babysitting and plans to save all of his earnings. And we want to graph how much money, Y, so we see that on our graph here, he has after X hours of babysitting. So we can see that on our X-axis. So if he starts with $0 and hasn't babysat at all, he's going to be at 0, 0. After 1 hour, because he earns $10, he'll be at 10. And then the next hour, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. So go ahead and plot all of those points, and then go ahead and draw in your line. Now we want to assume that if Diego starts with $30 saved before he starts babysitting, and we want to graph the same thing. So instead of starting at 0, 0, we're going to start up at 0, 30. Okay, because he is now starting with $30. And he is still earning $10 per hour. So then after 1 hour, he would have $40 saved, then 50, 60, 70, and so on. So put those dots on your graph and draw your line. And then I want you guys to take a second and compare those two lines. How much more money does Diego have after 1 hour of babysitting? If we look at 1 on our graph, we're at 10 and 40. So he has $30 more. Okay, what about 2 hours babysitting? Now we're at 20 and 50. So again, $30 more. If we look at 5 hours babysitting, we are at 50 and then 80. So again, $30 more. And that will always be true. So any amount of hours, he'll always have $30 more because he started with $30 more. So it's always going to be $30 more no matter how long he's babysat for. So if we're writing an equation for these lines, for that first one that I drew in black, we have our money saved, Y, equals $10 per hour of babysitting. So that's just Y equals 10x. And for the blue one, we still have Y equals, and he's still earning $10 per hour he babysits, but we're adding that 30 because that's the starting amount. Okay, so he's starting with 30, so we need to add that to the equation. For this next question, Noah put $40 on his transportation fare card. Every time he rides public transportation, $2.50 is subtracted from the amount available on the card. How much money in dollars is available on the card after he takes 0 rides? He hasn't spent any money, so it would be $40. After 1 ride, he only spent $2.50, so that would be $37.50. 2 rides, he spent another $2.50 from that $37.50, so it would be $35. And then X rides, it would be the $40 he started with minus $2.50 times however many times he rode the public transportation. So it would be X. So if we graph this relationship, we're starting at 40 because that is the amount that he had on his card to start. And then we'll be down at 37.5 then 35, and we're just going to keep moving down each time. So go ahead and plot a couple points and then connect with your line. How many rides can Noah take before the card runs out of money? You could either set this up as an equation and have it equal to 0 and solve, or you can keep plotting points. So if I continue to plot points every single time he rides, we're just looking to see when does this hit the x-axis, and that is at 16. So 16 rides. And where do we see that number of rides? That is our x-axis, because that is where y equals 0, and that is the amount of dollars we have, so we want to know when is that amount 0. And our last example, here we have a graph that shows the amount of Hans fare card for every day of July. And we want to describe what happened with the amount of money on Hans' fare card in July. So this is a straight line, and no matter what day we're looking at, it's at $20 every day. So this means that Han always had $20 on the card. And that means he didn't use it. And then if we plot and label 3 different points on the line, you can pick any 3, it doesn't matter. If I pick this one, we're at 7:20. If we pick this one over here, we're at 18:20, and then here 27:20. So no matter what day we pick, we always have $20 on that card because he didn't use it. And if we want to write an equation to show how much money he has on the card in July, y, so that would be the amount of money on the card equals 20. We don't need to use x because it's not changing. So no matter what, y always equals 20, okay? And we're going to get into more of graphing and how we find these numbers later on, but for now, we would just want to make sure we know how to read the graph and how we can use the information to plot some points. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a good day.